Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of HBM. On the last episode we tackled the arc furnace, and it's actually a really cool machine. Today we're looking for we're gonna do some natural gas stuff. We already have natural gas, but we're gonna dispose of all of our natural gas in a second. First let me check, it's out of power, perfect, this is not overflowing. We're gonna do everything that's oil right now, because we got a bunch of oil stuff that we need to do. And, oh, I just now realized it's actually like, the top part's like a different color as well from the bottom part, so it's nice looking. So today we're gonna need a bunch of steel. That's what we're gonna need a lot of today is just steel for all of the different things we're doing. Which the primary thing is gonna be making more fractioning towers and stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We got about an ingot in there, I think. So if we just put in 2 ingots, that should do the trick for getting that into a cast plate. Then we're gonna need 3 more of those to make 1 fractioning tower. We're gonna need quite a few for the fractioning towers. So we're gonna need a bunch of these. That should do. And we'll give that a second to go through this process. So this should make a few of them, but we need to weld them up first. We gotta weld up those. That won't make enough for what we're looking for, but that'll make 1 of them. And we need about 2 of them. We need quite a few. Quite a few. So this is almost done with it, isn't it? Yep. And then we need another one for oil life, for the other type of oil. So, which the other type is naphtha, and that's gonna make diesel, which is important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are still my favorite machine because they don't cost as much as anything else. Thank goodness. When the welding machine got added, I thought that was bad, but now we got the steel changing, steel recipe changing. But now you get used to like the changes, I guess. Okay, so we got our 2 fractioning towers. We're gonna get the 3rd one in a second, but for now, we're gonna set up these, and we're gonna bring some concrete with us so everything looks nice. We don't want to be using cobblestone no more because we got concrete. Because concrete's the future. And there's also that building that we found a couple days ago. It's just hiding out in the middle of nowhere in those hills over there. We could probably go take the concrete from that building. It's not the same color, but we could probably use that in something. So. Okay, let's go ahead and say that this side will do the oil, the heavy oil, and the other side will do the naphtha. And we'll just lay this on the dirt. Why not? Not even dig down to make our foundation. Oh, and I'm not gonna have enough space for this one, so it's gonna have to go out this way as well. Which kind of sucks, but eventually we'll go through and make this look a little bit better with the bottom also being concrete underneath it. Not the grass, the floor here. This is all gonna be concrete at some point, so that automatically does heavy oil. That's amazing, because I gotta get rid of the heavy oil somewhere. And then we're gonna place down here another one for the industrial oil, which is being produced. So this will be switched over to industrial oil, which you can see here. This is industrial oil. Boom. Producing heating oil, engine lubricant, and a whole bunch of other good stuff, which engine lubricant no longer has use, because engine lubricant was used in the one stuff, now it's useless. Because guess what? The industrial generator, our good friend, does not even exist anymore. The industrial generator is gone. There is no use for motor oil. This is a catastrophe now. I did not realize this before, but that's like legitimately there's no use for engine lubricant. Its only use is to be poured out into the river. This is a very sad day. Oh no, I just accidentally right-clicked that. I probably just changed what it is. Okay, I didn't do any stupid stuff. Thank goodness, but there's always a chance for us to end up doing something stupid accidentally. What is this? We got light oil that's going to come out. Probably this front side, and it's going to go in a storage tank. And from this side, we got to do another one. It looks really interesting, this machine up here. I just like this machine. It's not cooling down at all. I'm pretty sure these are getting hotter. Which, I don't know how that would work, but I guess it makes sense, I guess. I don't know. I like that machine, though. So, with all of these products, we could technically send them all through a Kraken tower to get rid of them. Oh, wait a second. Motor oil. That could probably also get coked into something. But we don't have aromatic hydrocarbons yet, which to get those, we're going to go ahead and do a different process for that. It's going to also require a Kraken tower at some point. I don't want to do any cracked oil processing because it's just... the only reason to do that is for if you need a lot of C4, and we don't really need C4. Or you can make rubber, but I would make C4 instead because it's just more fun. So we'll go ahead and weld up these plates for the actual next thing. And then we also need pipes, which we can find up here. Perfect. And then we also need... that's basically it. We'll need to set up some kind of power generators off these that consume the fuel that we're producing, because this stuff is useless. We're producing useless stuff, basically. Except for light oil. That's the only thing that is useful from this, and it's the most useful. Other than petroleum gas. That's also pretty useful. So, this is a pretty small refinery setup. I'm actually liking the small refinery setup. It's not very big. It does not have very many moving parts to it. It's just a refinery. It just does stuff. So coming out of here, we're going to have the actual naphtha. Naphtha. Naphtha? Does it exist? Is this real? Yes, it is. Boom, boom. And then boom. Which is going to be this one. Perfect. And it also produces heating oil. Oh, well, hang on a second there. I don't think I want to do that. Let me think about this for a second. If I place it here... They both produce heating oil. I can just take the heating oil out of both of them. Put it in the same pipe. Perfect. So while you can further process your diesel into kerosene, right? That is a thing you can do. You can also process your light oil into kerosene. That's only useful for rockets, and we're not going to be making rockets. There's no way we're getting a rocket in this right now. Because the state of rockets is insane. We're done with rockets, right? They were fun back when you could make the HTR carrier rocket, but now they're just sad. So we'll just go ahead and make none of those. And we don't need the heating. And you could turn the kerosene into like actual, what's it called? The petroleum gas. We don't really need that either because it's just produced through the refinery up there. So that's not really an issue. It's time to get these cracking towers up and running. So I think we're going to run them off of heating oil, which is also going to become a pretty useful material. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we'll probably run a lot of stuff off of heating oil. Oh, there's one other thing we can do technically before we get those other things online, and that would be to make the boiler. And then we can just, yeah, that'd be genius. We'll make the actual boiler thing. You know what? We could probably use the steam we produce from the heating oil to power our steam engine. Okay, this thing needs 4 polymer bars. I don't think we got that right now, but we could probably make it. Alright, so it's underway. The production of the stuff we need for this. It's got 2 plates, 3 plates. That's going pretty good. But the actual other thing, which needs petroleum gas, not so much because we don't have that right now. We're gonna have to go get that. Oh wait, we could get unsaturated. We could get rubber right now for this thing, and aromatic hydrocarbons. We don't even need the crack. We don't need the cracked oil setup. We have the cracked oil processing technically. What is the point in cracked oil processing? There is 0 point in doing that. It's just not as good. This is just not as good. Oh, I was meant to go get polymer from the refinery. Whoops, I did not grab any polymer from the refinery. I just kind of just ran over that way and made some pipe extensions because I thought, we're making the heater, right? Yeah, well, we gotta make the new boiler first, then we can move over the old heater, and then. Yeah. Turns out we're gonna have just enough of this petroleum gas to make the next boiler thing. Amazing. in it. Okay, let's go ahead and set this thing up. Put this stuff in there. And we have enough of this fluorite, which it takes 1 fluorite and 2 coal powder to make this. Okay, so we got the boiler done. This is the industrial boiler, and I feel like the recipe was a bit more polymer. Honestly, like everything seems like it's a bit more difficult. But that's probably just because I don't even know at this point, like, if something is more difficult or not. Also, this thing is empty on oil, so we just did not throw away any oil. Amazing. The only problem now, you may notice, is that we now have to pipe to this other one, which kind of sucks. But it is possible for us to technically do that, I think. I gotta get up there, though. That's the only problem. That's a pretty big issue, getting up there. So we could probably go up this way and into this one, which that's an option. So we'll go ahead and try that one. It doesn't need to look nice, it just needs to work. Which this will work. So the hot crude oil is done. We just gotta connect up the line with cabling, and it should run perfectly. Like, there should be no explosion if it overflows. It's gonna be the greatest oil line right now. But the other thing we need is the boiler for the next setup of the heater for the next boiler. So that one's gonna run water, and this one currently is running oil. So that's the difference there. And we'll need condensers at this point. So the only way we make this is that, like, this is a boiler, and then this is 2 blocks above the other thing. So that's how we should place that down. So we can place it down in advance. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. And that one, it should be 100% safe to use the boiler for, like, the regular boiler. Technically, you can use the RBMK to actually fluid heat items, which is, I mean, we could probably do that at some point. I mean, is it an option? It doesn't work for making energy, though, that way. But that is how you can heat oil with... You're supposed to use that for heating oil, so... Like, heating up oil to get it into the RBMK... Or, not into the RBMK, but into the other thing. You can use it as coolant, technically, for, like, a 2-loop process where you use a fluid heater. That is an option as well. This is a steel universal fluid duct. Interesting. This one uses iron and aluminium. Like, this one is, I don't know. Kind of cheap. You get 8 for 6 pieces, whereas with these it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Whoa. And this one makes 8, but it costs 2 steel and way more aluminum. I mean, I guess I like the aluminum one better. Here's like the ancient ones, where it's 4 steel. I don't know why you'd make those. It's a waste. So we're running out of steel now. Or I'm gonna make the nether portal on my own probably, and then we can get the more steel. It'll be easy to get steel. Wait, we need to make the dash helmet for that first. At least the dash helmet. That's like all you need for that is the dash helmet. And then boom. Oh, we're gonna make this steel. We're gonna make this titanium instantly. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quickest recipe of all time. Oh wait, we gotta do 8 pieces of copper ingots. 1, 2. And then we can sleep. A new fluid burner is done. Perfect. And this one we'll just shove in the ground underneath the other one, running just default. It just runs heating oil by default. So that is amazing. And then we can hook up the piping for one of our first Kraken tower, which is going to be for the this one here. And then we got to hook up a condenser on the top of this, so that way it runs water back in. So we are going to run steam out from this, and it's going to go into this machine, and low pressure steam is going to come out of this and go into the top of this one. So we're going to use an iron barrel, a duct. You know things are getting bad when you're using iron barrels, but it's cheaper. It's better for water storage and stuff like that. But we need a bucket, because without a bucket, we're not going to be able to perfectly put in all of the water. We're going to just put in one little bit of water. One bucket is 1,000 liters, or 1,000 milliliters, and that will be perfect. So we're putting the barrel here. This is going to put in the water for the top, and it's going to be just like that. It's going to be an input-output, and when we put in the ID for this. We actually have to put in an ID for it to work. So it's gonna be water, and that's gonna be its ID. It's gonna act as a buffer between our low pressure steam pipe and the condenser, so we don't have steam getting condensed. I think that is able to happen, but I'm not sure, because I've never done any experimentation with that, so I don't know if you can condense steam into low pressure steam, but I think you would be able to do that. That seems like a really bad thing to do, though. It's really useless. That's why we don't want to do it. The good thing is that these are really cheap now, the thing I'm about to make, which is the last thing I have to make today, and then I'm done. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and those are gonna all become plates. Boom. And then we're gonna make a copper plate, which is also cheap, and that's everything now, I'm pretty sure. I just gotta put that in there, and this round it. Oh, wait a second, have they changed the condenser recipe, or am I just doing the wrong thing here? This is the question of the day. Wait. Oh, I know how it is. I know what it is. It's not one of those. It's a cast plate. Still a better recipe than it was in the ancient days of HBM mod, when it cost like 4 copper. I mean, it was pretty easy to remember what it was, because you just remember 4, 4, 4, 3 fours, 4 steel, 4 iron, and 4 copper. But now it's 3, 4, 4, which one can at least be 3, 4, 3. It'd be much easier. But no, this is perfect. And then if I place this condenser here, that works, I think. Well, all we gotta do is give it a test run by turning it on. So, if we turn this on, it produces water, gets water back in. What is this? It has no water. So it produces steam, and it's gonna produce, like, I don't know, it's gonna max out its steam buffer, which is why I like doing this. And then this one needs to be switched over to natural gas, which is why it's not even working. So, nat gas. Natural gas. Oh, have we even connected the power line? I don't think we did. No, we did. We did. And there we go. Now it's running. It's producing petroleum gas, and it's getting water back in, isn't it? Yes, it's maintaining its steam level at 92,000. If it ever hits 1.6 million millibuckets, it will explode a case, so you don't want to do that. Do not hit the max. And if it is at max, it will look like it's at max, and it will start doing funny stuff you don't want it to do. So I'm going to go ahead and set up basically the same thing for bitumen, except the difference is that it's, I don't have to make a bunch of stuff for it. I can just hook in everything from the bitumen to the same setup, and it will do the exact same thing. But there's also one other thing that has to happen with bitumen, and that is I have to get all of the bitumen from other parts of the factory over to this part, which is actually really simple, because there's only one other place that I missed that is producing bitumen, and it's right over here. This part. Right there. That's the bitumen. It's low pressure steam, and then we gotta hook up this guy, which is bitumen, and he's gonna go ahead and hook into this guy right here, I guess. I mean, I guess that works. It works. Bitumen. Finally. That's every single piece of bitumen in the entire factory, which is clogged with crude oil now, and the crude oil can be sent over to the oil pipe. So we'll have to find a way to pipe it out of there, but it should be pretty easy, I think, to get it into here. There's a 4th output for this guy, so we can hook it in there. Hang on a second. This guy doesn't just have 3 on him. He has 4. So I can technically just dig a hole through this concrete and place in the new piping. That's the beauty of this industrial boiler. It's that it doesn't have 3 inputs on it. It doesn't have 1 on the top, 2 on the sides. It's got 4 on the sides and 1 on the top. So you can literally do like 5 different inputs for everything that you want to put in there. Like if you got water, you can just put this in the middle of your base, and you can boil your water. Perfect. And then send it to where it needs to go. This is the best boiler. But of course, we're not here to talk about the best, why it's so good. We're here to make the new crude oil line work even better, and that's what we've just done. We've added a crude oil production setup method to our crude oil production, so like it's actually producing double the crude oil now. Thank goodness.